We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
When curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Welcome to Martensville, Saskatchewan, site of the curling stadium, Martensville International. My name is Jason Chang. With me, Jim Nix. We're going to give you the call from the ice to your device, and we've got a really interesting matchup, Jim. Two young teams. Sam Mooibroek, the current Ontario champions. They were just at the Brier and put in a pretty good performance against the new U.S. champion skipped by Korey Dropkin. Jim, what do you think about this matchup?
Yeah, I think it should be good. I think both teams love to see a lot of rocks in play, and both teams are kind of coming off a high with Dropkin going to represent the U.S. at the Worlds, and with Mooibroek had a really good Brier, really for a first Brier, and finishing 4-4 and just losing out, got nipped out for a playoff spot in the last game, and yeah, it should be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see Red Stones played by Team Dropkin. Yellowstone's Team Mooibroek. Team Dropkin did win the last stone draw, so they've got last stone here, and Team Mooibroek lead. That's Nathan Steele. Plays a really nice freeze for his second shot. Perfect guard and then a nice freeze.
Yeah, it's a great ice surface here in Martensville too. We've been here a few times this year actually, and it's always been quite good. 4 feet or so of curl and usually pretty nice speed. A little loud for us, and they're trying to do these. So the mics on the ice are pretty loud, but we'll try to work our way through it.
Absolutely, and Team Dropkin, this is a team that's been ready to break out on the U.S. scene, and they've been in the slams, playing really well. Of course, Schuster's been there for all these years, but they have dethroned Team Schuster as the U.S. national champions, and will be going to the World. Of course, skipped by Korey Dropkin. These young bucks. Andrew Stopera, their third. Mark Fenner, the second, and Tom Howell is their lead. Looking to just play another freeze right on top here.
Yeah, sort of a standard sort of strategy for the first few rocks of the ends if the team chooses to come around the center as they did. So it's you usually get a little stacking of rocks here. That one came up a little light, but they'll do this for a couple shots and then they'll work at opening it back up usually. So it's always
opportunity for Team Mooibroek to play the freeze here on top of their own yellow stone. That would be a really nice setup, right? They've got the red stone there, that's shot stone, but you got 2 yellow stones stacked on top if you can make this one.
Yeah, that'd be ideal
Scott
for
Mitchell. Yeah, Scott Mitchell's the second for Team Mooibroek. Their lead is Nathan Steele. Ryan Weave is their third, and Sam Mooibroek, the current Ontario champions, playing skip stones.
Be a little warm. No, not really.
Just got it by the top one, but it'll rub that second guard, rolls off, but not in bad position, actually.
No, it kind of ended up almost where they wanted it, minus a foot or so, but pretty good spot.
Yeah, the angle's good.
Yeah, the angle's real good.
And so Korey is motioning for a tap here. This was the freeze that they were trying to play, but now trying to just raise it up as a freeze.
Yeah, I think get in there a little bit, move those rocks around just a smidge. You can give yourself a much better situation for, a couple rocks down the end here.
Yeah, we've got 16 teams here. 16 teams here in Martensville, vying for this title. 8 teams will make the playoffs, and we've got 4 sheets in action. Actually, only 3 sheets in action because Team Sampson, Ethan Sampson, they couldn't make it in due to some flight cancellations earlier. So Kevin Cooey was supposed to play against Team Sampson. They've got the evening off, so 3 sheets in action today.
Yeah, it's always tough when that happens. Just create some imbalance in the game and stuff like that. And there's not too much the organizer can do, but
No, it's a little unfortunate, but hey, uncontrollable factors. But we do have Dustin Kaltoff. They're playing against the Korean team, Jaibun Lee from Wisong. The feature match here, Korey Dropkin, Sam Mooibroek, and Steve Laycock playing Bruce Corte, a battle of Saskatchewan teams there. 2 veterans, especially Bruce Corte.
Both of guys have been around for a little while, especially Bruce. He's well up
Yeah,
there.
I think Bruce is a 3-time Saskatchewan champion. Steve's won a few Saskatchewan titles as well, SaskTel Tankards.
Yeah. So Mooibroek's just trying to decide where to go here.
Yeah, you can make the open run as well and just roll in a little bit.
Yeah, he wouldn't be looking to roll too far because if he gets to within a foot or 2 feet of the rocks in the center, then the roll becomes a bit easier for Dropkin. So just a foot or 2 roll here would be pretty good.
Yeah, I think they just like to roll with that 3rd shot or 4th, without counting the other red stone that's in the top of the 12.
Exactly.
What I noticed in the afternoon game was that the ice was quite straight if you had any weight on it. You had to really throw it. If you want curled, you need to throw it with softer weight.
Yeah.
Each of these teams will. Oh, sorry, Jim. Yeah, I was going to say each of these teams will play 4 preliminary round games, and the top 8 teams will make the playoffs. So there may be some tiebreakers or records that will need to be broken based on head-to-head, as well as those last stone draws.
Yeah, and with Mooibroek already having 1 loss earlier today, then he's in a position where he may not be able to afford the 2nd loss.
That's right. You only got 4 teams, so 2-2 may get you into some sort of a tiebreaker situation, but you'd love to be at 3-1 at worst for Sam. Korey Dropkin, they won their opener, so they're at 1-0.
Pretty good shot.
Yeah, I like that outcome there. Mooibroek looking at coming around everything, and if he gets this around everything, there is no run back because all those rocks in the top of the ring, top 8, top 12, they're angled the wrong way. Of course, we welcome all our fans from Canada, the US, and around the world. Thanks for joining us here at Curling Stadium. And of course, if you're following all the scores, you can follow them at curlingzone.com. And of course, we'll give you some updates of the other 2 games as well. Just didn't have enough weight. Great line there.
Yeah, really good line. Just another 2 feet of weight or 2.5 feet of weight would have been perfect.
Looking at the chat in the YouTube feed, and Teresa from Montana, hello to you. What would you do here, Jim, if you were Korey Dropkin?
Yeah, it's like Dropkin's he's sort of in good position, but not in great position. He's
Not in
you know,
scoring position, right? Because the full 4-foot is all open right now, and they're only
yeah,
in the 8
exactly.
foot.
Yeah.
So not in great position, but not in bad position either.
Well, exactly. Yeah, because it's Mooibroek's got the draw around to get shot rock, or he's even got a tap on his own to go, red yellow sort of thing. But I think it's pretty safe right now for Dropkin. I'm sure he decided on here.
They're making a play on this combination that's in the top 12. It just squeaks by. Spreads the rocks out. Not sure if that was good or not.
Yeah, funny. I was sitting here thinking the same thing. I was like, I'm not sure if that's good or not, but
there is a red double right now, and if they kind of hit it just on the nose or just off nose, yellow could sit 2 here.
The trouble with that you're right for sure. The trouble with that is he hits it just on very close to nose. He probably leaves a double on his own.
We'll leave the double back, and it looks like to me red is 4th shot right now. So if 2 doubles happen, then the reds would be sitting 1-2 again, and that's of course Korey Dropkin with hammer, so he'd love to sit 2.
Yeah, I think it's. I think you're right about that. I think red is sitting 2, 3, 4.
And that's why Sam Mooibroek here is not looking at that red double, because he knows that that's the situation. And so looking at some other options.
Well, yeah, and his yellow is pretty secure in there right now, or reasonably secure, I guess. Not totally secure, but reasonably secure in there. So he doesn't. He wants to be a little careful with this here. Our game this morning was very long. We were well into 2.5 hours for the 8-inning game. I don't know what your game was like earlier, Jason, but
well, I had Kevin Cooey, so it wasn't fast.
Yeah,
but it only went 7 innings. So,
well, okay.
And you do notice this a lot, right? When you're not actually on a time clock, you'll take a little bit extra time, and that's what they've done here in this shot.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like Sam's going to run this back.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a scary situation for Mooibroek because there are 4 red stones in the ring. So, and you don't have hammer, so you want to be a bit careful here. That's why they took their time to contemplate their options. Ryan Weeb. I think Ryan is a Manitoban originally, but joined up with Team Mooibroek. Pretty good shot.
Yeah, it was a good shot. It was pretty, as long as he got it on that top one, he was going to get rid of 2 of the reds. So that was a bonus. It's turned around a little bit here now.
And yellow is shot stone now. And again, it's kind of same situation. If Korey plays the hit on that yellow shot stone, they would leave a double. And if you make the double, yellow would be hitting 2. And you've got the force going on. So Korey was looking at the hit and roll off the side yellow. And that's what he's decided to do.
That's interesting.
So I just noticed it was Tom Howell throwing this stone. And nice roll.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if that's new. I'm just sitting here thinking I might have had that when they did Dropkin's game, a couple of Dropkin games earlier this year, and he was, I think I remember switched even at that time, but.
Yeah, I did notice that Tom Howell was holding the broom for Korey during the U.S. Nationals, I believe. But I wasn't paying attention to who was throwing in which order.
Yeah.
A pretty short run back here. I'll expect Sam to be pretty close. Nice shot. And they've got a very good stagger out in front.
Really good, yeah.
That yellow is not easily accessible except for this yellow double, and then you'll have a pretty simple shot to hit that red out. That second shot stone right now, and then you got the force on. And yeah, sorry, Jim. I was gonna say Korey knows that if he just hits this double, he's leaving a very easy shot for Sam, and it'll be a force. So he was saying, can we get a little bit of a roll to the right-hand side as you see it from the thrower's angle? Try to partially cover that yellow-red combination. And as mentioned, Kevin Cooey was supposed to be on the ice today, but Team Sampson couldn't make it in with some flight delays. So Kevin Cooey's got the default win, evens his record at 1-1 after dropping his opener to Dustin Kaltoff. That double just went by that second stone, so I think I like the guard here, Jim. I mean, if you try to make a tap, you might leave a double for two.
Yeah, I like the guard too. You could split the two yellows, but like you say, you could easily end up leaving a double. And Korey hasn't got a real good opportunity here to throw the guard to remove anything. Just got to make sure this guard's long enough that he doesn't have a short run back to score. But one's not bad anyway. So
yeah, it forced Korey out to a draw, and that draw will be a bit wider than during their practice when they were going to draw the button. They have to get around that yellow stone, so it's a slightly different path.
Yeah, because this is just about draw to the button ice right here at the edge of the 8, pretty much where it needs to be.
Looks like this guard is pretty well controlled here. Just need to make sure there's no hole, and I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you think there might be a hole still there if you throw it soft enough?
No. It looks like on the overhead it's not bad, but on the long shot it looks like yes, it might be there, but it's a lot tougher than you need to take on right now, I think.
Yeah, and I think Korey has made the same analysis and decided to play the draw to the 4-foot. First end, Korey Dropkin, final stone, needs to draw to the 4-foot to score his single point. He's being forced here by Team Mooibroek. Mark Fenner. Andrew Stapera on the rock right away here. Now Andrew switched to the other side trying to get some curl. Now they've gone back to the straight side, so line looks good. It's just about weight now, but it's come up short. It's a steal of 1 for Team Mooibroek, and they strike first. 1-0 Team Mooibroek after 1.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of
'25 TCG All-Star Game, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th. Let's rock.
Next year if Gushu had been able to hang on there, but
I guess Gushu can still get one of the wild cards, right? So
yeah, true enough. Yeah, I keep forgetting about those. So they still might end up with two teams.
And Jim, I know you're from Nova Scotia, and a really good performance once again by Christina Black at the Scotties.
Yeah, really, really good. It was quite a performance actually. She played very well. The team played very well, and they worked really hard at the game. It's definitely the hardest working team that we have down here, and they travel a lot. So yeah, pretty pleased with that. Saw her on the weekend actually at the mixed junior school. Yep. So.
And of course, also on the men's side at the Brier, Owen Purcell making that playoff round as well.
So yeah, really good player. Really showed himself well at the Brier, and has a very good team as well. And they've traveled a little bit this year, so they got to play some of the teams that they were going to be facing there at least, which is always a benefit. And both them and Sam's team here too as well have got to come off and feel pretty good about the direction their teams are going. So, and Christina certainly is happy with where she is, and Not very far from being able to be right there at the end.
Yeah, very close to really breaking through to the top tier of teams, those tier one elite teams. Of course,
Yeah.
Owen Purcell with Colleen Jones coaching, first son Luke Saunders playing third, Scott Zachary, very experienced player at second. So got a pretty good lineup there.
Yeah, it's a good squad. Scott's the old man of the group. He's been around for quite a while, but
It's not that old either, I don't think.
no, not really. But he's got some of the young guys by a few years, but he keeps himself in really good shape, um, and obviously he doesn't hold the broom. He sweeps all the time, so he's has to be in decent shape to play the game, and always was a good player.
Well, Team Dropkin has a rock buried behind that corner guard. Sam Mooibroek, a rock in the back four, trying to get one buried behind this off-center guard to the top of the four. Got a little bit of room behind past this guard, so I'm not sure it's going to get fully buried here. They're trying, Ryan Weep trying to carve this over. Looks like he got it a piece buried.
Yeah, it's a pretty good spot. The double's tough, but
Looking to just remove this rock, push it through that hole and roll open on the other side of the 8-foot, trying to set second and third shot here. Trying to be patient here. Andrew Stapera throwing the second stones.
we're going to come up a little bit.
Really well controlled there.
Yeah, very good shot.
I think that will force Sam to make a hit on this open red stone and try to roll it back in.
Yeah.
The first time I ever saw Sam curl was at a Ontario Junior final, provincial final, quite a few years ago now. And he lost a very tight game to Sam Steep.
Yeah.
Came down to the last couple of stones, and there were some really good shots in the last couple of stones. But Sam Steep won that one. But Sam Mooibroek really coming into his own now in Ontario. He's had a great couple of seasons. Obviously, winning Ontario is never easy.
No. I don't know if he lost the game. Did he go through undefeated in Ontario? I believe he did.
Tom Howell, the third for Team Dropkin. He can play on shot stone, try to roll it a little bit undercover. No roll, but they're sitting 1 and 3, but there's no double on the red stone, so
Roll's big here. I don't know whether or not he'll. I don't know if he can roll perfect enough that he won't be able to get at it, though. There's quite a lot of room between that high guard and the one in the house.
yeah, that's maybe a 2 guard, so there's quite a bit of space. This rock will just be on the tee line or slightly behind the tee line once you make the roll. So I think you have to make the roll here. You don't want to leave this open and give Team Dropkin a chance to roll and sit above the tee line, because the rocks are getting 1 rock higher every time you hit. It's a bit of a flop. Pretty sharp double here, but I think it's getting late in the end. If you want to get 2, you may not need to take it on right now.
Just move off the one.
Would you take this on, Jim?
Yeah, I
This
think
double?
so. Yeah, I think so. I think it's kind of time.
The danger, of course, is if you don't make the double, roll over the top of that yellow stone, Team Mooibroek can then guard and have a double guard on their shot
Yeah,
stone.
yeah, no question. I just, I think sometimes at this level, you just got to play a shot that works best for you. I think this works, and
We try to get some curl here. Looks pretty close. There it is. Right on, and the yellows go out of the rings. Red sitting shot in second. They were trying to get that maybe a little bit thicker and roll it a little bit higher and get it behind the cover.
that would have been really good. But because he obviously leaves Sam a chance to still get one in there pretty good. But it was a good shot.
Yeah, and Sam's going to try to make the hit and roll it a foot to the right as you see it from the overhead. Get it behind that off-center guard. Just looking at the chat, seems like a few people who are living close to where Team Sampson reside, reporting that there's been some big storms through that area of the U.S. And so that may be why that flight that Team Sampson was supposed to be on got delayed or canceled. Got a little bit of a roll, but I think you can still see pretty much all the stone. So now this is a big opportunity for Team Dropkin. They make this little hit and flop behind. They've got two in undercover.
Yeah, well, they're looking at a definite possibility of a 3. Now, it's been a pretty mild winter down here. We haven't had hardly any snow. We have no snow on the ground right now. And
Out on the East Coast. Well, I'm out in Toronto, and we had some record snowfalls in February.
Yeah. My daughter's in Toronto, so it's it's interesting. It's we haven't had much. We had I don't know. I don't know if we didn't have any real big snowfalls at all. So it's could have shoveled them all. We have somebody drive their driveway, but
The good news for me was I was out in Asia curling during that February snowfall, so I escaped having to shovel, but my parents were in town to help take care of my two kids, and I wasn't planning on asking them to shovel at all, but they had to shovel because there was so much snow.
Well, they can. So big opportunity here for Dropkin.
Pretty good looking shot here if we can get it by the guard. Yeah, and they're going to get a flop here. Great shot. Did they roll it a hair too far? There is a port between those two guards.
A little bit, but tough shot.
Not easy. You really haven't played this spot of the ice yet.
No.
It's a little bit of a guess on where to put the broom, but I think this is probably the best option Sam's got here.
Yeah, I think you have to take it on. You just can't take a chance of getting up 3. As long as you get through the hole there, you're not going to do any worse than a deuce, which it's not the end of the world. So you don't want to try that out turn draw and have them pick it up for 3.
Yeah, exactly.
The trouble here is, like you said, they haven't really been here much. So, and he could make the double here. If he hits this, with some weight a little bit thin, hits like a quarter of a rock, or maybe a little less than a quarter of a rock.
A little bit thinner than a quarter, maybe. The double is on.
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to hit and flop on top of or in front of that red stone, make it very difficult to remove. Try to force Dropkin that way to a draw to the 4-foot. Looks pretty close right now. I think they're going to get it through the port. Through the port. Now, will it set down? Very nice shot.
That was a great shot. I think. It looks like he's still
pretty sure yellowish shot. At least I think so. They're going to have a look. They'll have a better look from right above. The camera is not always perfectly centered, and once you get further away from the pin, you got some distortion. So
very close, anyways.
Now they can just chip the yellow sideways and get their 2 that way. So if they want to take that on, that's probably there. Try to go through the port with the out turn. Chip the yellow one sideways. Korey is motioning right now with his broom. Tough shot, though.
Yeah, I would expect him to take it on for sure, but it's but you're right. Same thing we said a minute ago. But it doesn't seem to bother really very much. But haven't really played a lot of shots going this way, so trying to get it right.
I'm just saying there that you're gonna get pretty close to. You have to get pretty tight to that off center guard to make the shot.
Yeah.
Weight control will be key here. Down by one after giving up a steal of one in the first. Team Dropkin with a tough shot for two, but it is there. Korey Dropkin trying to just chip, come through the port and chip the Yellowstone sideways, roll towards the middle. Looks close. Will it overcurl? Will it stay on the right side? I think they've got it. Pretty close. Not quite. Just didn't get enough in an angle here. And I think it is a steal of one more for Team Mooibroek. So Mooibroek taking a 2-0 lead after two steals of one in the first two ends.
Yeah, they just kind of lost that one a little bit.
Team Mooibroek up 2-0 on Team Dropkin. Team Dropkin ranked 12th in the world right now on the world curling rankings. Mooibroek number 24. So a couple of pretty highly ranked teams taking battle. Two young teams as well. Korey Dropkin asking for that corner guard again. Trying to generate some offense. It's a little bit high. Would have probably liked that another 6 or 8 feet deeper.
Yeah, I don't know how much good that will be, but
Got a lot of curling coming up in Saskatchewan. We've got, of course, this event, the Curling Stadium Martensville International Swift Current, coming up pretty soon, and also the Men's World Championship in Moose Jaw. Sam asking for the tap. Right back. Pretty good shot. And Korey's going to ask Mark Fenner to make the draw around the corner guard that he just threw. Line looks pretty good here. Maybe they were just throwing up a second corner guard. So same side corners. Can't peel those off. 5 rock 3 guard zone rule in effect. So Sam deciding to throw up a center guard, another center guard here. And a stretch of lots of curling coming up. The LGT World Women's Curling Championships from Korea in Ujinbu, Korea, coming up. Starts Saturday. That's tomorrow. Team Canada, Rachel Homan in action against Team Lithuania, and that's the first time Lithuania has made the World Championships.
Yeah, I think that game is on due to start pretty much the same time we finished. I think it's 2 o'clock in the morning or so, my time down here. So
yeah, that sounds about right. And a lot of good teams at these World Championships, and I'm sure we'll see some of them at the 2026 Winter Olympic Games in Milano Cortina. And these are very important World Championships because these championships, as well as last year's World Championships, are accumulating points for your country, for your nation, to qualify for the World. So Italy, as the host, automatically have a spot. The next 7 best teams, based on World Championship points or rankings from this year and last year, will get a spot. And then there will be 2 last chance qualifiers that will happen in the fall of next season. And presumably, for Italy, it'll be Stefania Constantini. For the ladies and for the men, Joao Retornaz. But in this women's World Championship field, you got Madeline Dupont, Eunji Kim, Anna Hasselborg, Rachel Homan, Rebecca Morrison, Tab Peterson from the U.S., Alina Pats with Silvana Tirazzoni as skip. So a really good field. Run back called, makes contact with all of Stones, gets them all moving, opens up the front, and now we've got a pretty good situation for Team Dropkin. Bunch of corner guards, nothing in the rings.
See this again. It's certainly a great result here. Ends up with for Team Dropkin's got corner guards on both sides, and most of the yellow's gone. All of the yellow's gone. So.
Yeah, beautiful. Andrew Stapera showing us how it's done.
Yeah, it's an interesting setup for Mooibroek too, because he just doesn't have enough rocks to be able to start eliminating, so he's going to have to make the first move, really.
Yeah, try to get around that corner first. It shut stone and force Team Dropkin to maybe maneuver around that to score there too. Jim, we've been talking about the World Championships. That's imminently starting, and of course, Rachel Homan has just had a dominant couple of seasons. What do you think? Do you think Team Canada and Rachel Homan will win this one, or do you think there'll be a few teams who could challenge her?
Well, there'll definitely be a couple teams that can challenge her, but that's all there is that can challenge her, and most of those teams are their first teams. They've been so dominant. I mean, Rachel herself has just been. She was always such a good player, and she's just gotten better and better, really. And you used to think, well, you might be able to beat her by making her make a tough draw at times, but I don't think anymore you can feel like that. So it's going to be really tough. I think Hasselberg can probably have a shot at knocking her off, and then possibly, maybe Tiranzoni, but I don't see much past there. I know there's other teams that can, but being able to and doing it are another story. So
Yeah, of course, Silvana Tiranzoni really comes to play at the World Championships. He's got so many titles now.
yeah,
And then Ji Kim, there for Korea, fairly highly ranked in the world
yeah,
rankings, and they just came off a gold medal at the Asian Winter Games. Min Ji
yeah.
Kim hit her third, Yoo Kim, and Yoon So her lead. So I think that team could be pretty strong.
Yeah, we've had a number of events this year where we've had 3 and sometimes even 4 teams from Korea on the women's side and they've all been really good. So it's no surprises here there.
And I guess the team that I'm looking at with some interest is the Scottish team. It's kept by Rebecca Morrison, quite a young team.
Yeah,
Played in a few World Championships now, and every time they go out to the World Championships, they do better and better. So that first year she was out, didn't only had I think a couple of wins, but she's been doing better and better every time. So I'm interested to see if she can keep building on that success.
yeah, that'll be interesting to see for sure. I don't know if for me, I don't know if I've seen her enough or seen her perform well enough to think that she's going to be a threat here, but um, no, certainly more than capable of being there at the end.
Yeah, and I think maybe not necessarily a medal threat at this Olympic Games coming up, but in 4 years, I think they'll be right there in that conversation.
Yeah.
Trying to move that yellow stone far enough to hit shot stone, and they do. Nice shot. Tom Howell, Team Dropkin sits 2.
Yeah, good sweep him there from the skipper. Managed to take that one back far enough.
Yeah, no double here, and just to make the takeout on that red stone, it's a little dangerous. It might jam.
So if he hits us right on the nose, basically right on the nose, just a little bit high side, sit right there. Dropkin probably plays the double or at least a hit and roll. And I don't know where Mooibroek can go though if he doesn't make a play on that. I don't see running this back. I don't know why you would want to take a shot at that. It'd be a very optimistic roll. I don't see that rolling that far.
Yeah, the ice isn't super curly, so if you're going to throw with any sort of hit weight, it's tough to get that roll, to push the
Yeah.
red stone out and to get the roll.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Think about it. If he does jam it, he's probably rolling at least probably 2/3 underneath that guard. But he might be number 3 is the problem.
Yeah, and then if they're number 3, Korey could just ignore it and try to get partially tucked behind that shooter.
Yeah, exactly,
In
yeah.
the top 8. So I think they do need to try to roll this. not a lot of good options here for Sam Mooibroek. So first stone in their third end, they're up 2-0, but facing a little bit of danger here. Team Dropkin looking pretty good in this end right now. Trying to carve this rock over. Looks pretty good.
Oh,
He's played this with great weight, but will he move the redstone far enough? No, but he will switch second shot. So that's pretty good. It basically eliminates the third shot stone, the red third shot.
yeah, he does, yeah. That was
He's
very
of course-
close to that guard coming by there.
Yeah, and he's opened up that red stone, so he can now hit that.
I think that was about as good as you could possibly make that because he couldn't have been by the guard by much less, and he couldn't have been any lighter really to be able to move anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
He got about his best he could out of that.
So Korey just trying to draw around here.
I think so, yeah. I think
sit
he's
in the
trying to
top
go half a rock and the 4 foot behind.
Yeah, and I think they probably don't want to be fully buried here because if you're fully buried, Mooibroek will play that hit and roll off that redstone that's open and you'll be buried. So I think you probably only want to be a quarter buried, maybe a half buried at most.
I think you're right. I think it's gonna. I'm guessing it's gonna curl more than that with that ice.
Well, they're getting it fully buried here. Is a double on? Maybe good enough for.
Might be able to.
Be on.
I saw him play a couple of ones with rocket weight at the Briar, and that's probably what he's going to need here if he wants to try to make that. I don't know if it's really there.
Yeah, he's also considering that hit and roll to the back of the button.
Yeah.
If the double looks on, I think he'll pass by the other yellow stone. Even if he doesn't pass by the yellow, as long as you stick there behind the guard, it'll be pretty tough for Korey Dropkin to score too.
Yeah, really tough. Yeah. I don't know if you can even move that second one far enough because if it jams on your own, it's probably going to stay a little bit closer than the yellow. So
looks like they've just decided to play the hit and roll here with the ice they're taking.
Oh man,
that was well out there and barely caught by that guard.
I know. I didn't even realize that we couldn't see that on the way down. I didn't know it was anywhere close to that guard.
Well, so you've got a free draw to the 4 foot now for Team Dropkin to tie this game. It'll be a big 2 points to level the playing field.
Yeah, I assume that's how Mooibroek throws them all the time. I didn't really notice though that both of those shots were sort of what would you call it? A much more deliberate handle put on those on the intern, and it just looked like a little bit of outward motion with the handle, but I'm not sure. But he might throw it like that all the time. But anyway, it was close to that guard.
Well, final stone here for Team Dropkin. They gave up steals of 1 in the first 2 ends, looking to bounce back here with the draw to the 4 foot for 2 to tie the game up. They pretty much just played this draw. They're taking a bit more ice than they did last time.
That's a big one. You don't want to miss this one. Guys are working pretty hard on this.
Will it make it? Looks okay here. Yeah, they worked hard, but it got in there pretty easily at the end. So 2 red stones. It's a tie game after 3 ends.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a
when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Of our next generation athletes.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind,
Brooke, if you're just joining us, Jason Chang, that's me, and Jim Nix here giving you the call this evening. Well, where you are, Jim, you're already in the morning?
Yeah, we are, 1 o'clock right now, so now a morning game.
Yeah,
There's
well
a lot of
played
them
in
down
there by
there.
Team Dropkin. All set up. That too was all set up by that really great triple takeout from Andrew Stapera.
Yeah, you're right. It changed the whole end. And
Yeah, Mooibroek was looking good up until that point.
yeah.
Center guard went up for Team Dropkin. Mooibroek tried to come around a little bit short, so Dropkin asking Mark Fenner to get this rock a little bit closer to the center, probably top 4 foot, maybe biting the button. Sweeper's calling top 4, I think, so looks pretty good on the weight. Top of the button. Good shot. Looking for a freeze here. The team from Ontario, skipped by Sam Mooibroek. Might be just a hit heavy, and it's going to slide right by to the back of the 12, it looks like. Maybe even just out. So mistake there, and I think Team Dropkin, they're going to throw another one right on top.
Yeah, that was not a good shot. Sam wasn't very happy with it, but we might give everybody a little bit of an update on scores, but there's nothing posted on the other rinks, other two games rather, that I'm seeing.
This rock
Pretty
looking
good.
pretty good here. Perfect.
Yeah, very nice. Chance to get rid of most of it, though.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
all of
definitely,
it, but certainly
you
most
have
of it.
quite a few of those rocks moving if you hit this on the high side.
Yeah.
Yeah, touched a lot of those rocks. That's a good shot.
Probably be a wide open end from here, you would think.
We got 2 red stones spread out quite nicely right now, so the force is on. Team Mooibroek trying to group them again. Trying to hit and roll towards the other red stone. Nice shot. Got them grouped now, so Team Dropkin trying to roll it as far away as possible.
And nothing really like to roll away from this one.
Got a bit of a roll, but the double is there. They want to take it on now, or they could just roll in front of that other red stone. Try to get it a bit closer for an easier shot later.
Yeah, it didn't really give us a real good indication if he's going for the roll totally or just the roll or the double. I think they're talking roll more than double, but it's almost the same shot, but not quite. Like to get a little bit in front of it, not quite.
But pretty good. Hard for Korey to roll and get a lot of separations. Got to roll it to the right from the overhead. But pretty hard to avoid the double on this roll.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty perfect.
Yeah, he needs about a 6 foot or so roll on this.
Well, the double's definitely on now.
Yeah, that's a great opportunity. Pretty simple double for these guys, so you don't want to miss this one for sure. I expect Ryan to be very close on this.
Jammed it though, so now really good opportunity for Korey to split the rings and get the force.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a shot that at this level you almost scores a 0. You know, it should be a shot that gets made and has the potential to cost your game along the way, as much as it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, absolutely, Jim. I mean, you had the force on if you made the double, or you had the blank on if you made the double. Hold hammer.
Yeah.
And you'll hold hammer going to the second half of the game in a tie game. That's a good situation.
Yeah.
But now, Team Dropkin. Korey Dropkin here. His first stone. Fourth end. Trying to split the rings here. Get it evened up with the other red stone.
Yeah, he only has to make really one decent draw and then one hit and stick and probably gets the job done. Rocks are going to be so far apart. It'll be tough to do much with them.
Yeah, good shot there.
Sam's going to play the draw, though. That is one way to maybe get out of this.
Yeah, Sam, knowing that he might get forced, decided to play the freeze here. Looks like it might over curl just a hair. Also some separation, so shouldn't be too tough for Team Dropkin to peel this out, but he wants to peel this out without losing his shooter or that back red stone. You want us to be still sitting two here to get the force.
Yeah, it's sort of a shot. You've got to throw a little bit harder just because you don't want to have to only just hit a quarter of this rock. He's got to throw some weight at this, and if he hits it just a little off, he could easily roll over into double and blank territories over there.
Will he pick it? Picks it
Ooh.
clean. Good shot.
Wow, I didn't give him enough credit. I wasn't even thinking of that, picking it clean. I just figured that was going to be too tough. But
Well, if you remember from the U.S. National Championships, he made a race pick for the win. So,
oh, is that right? Yeah.
Right off, yeah.
Yeah.
And that had very little separation. There was maybe an inch or two at most.
Wow. I do think I saw that, but I saw it just on a replay kind of thing. But I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, beating Daniel Casper, who I think will be the next big thing coming out of the U.S. in a few years. I think the Dan Casper team will be really, really good. Really good now already. So this is just a draw to the 4-foot for Mooibroek for his single. Getting forced here, but he will restore his lead. If this rock comes down, looks pretty close.
Needs to stop, though.
Will he just stop? I think it should be okay. Will it? Will it? Tom Howell sweeping it.
Looks like one red to me.
Yeah. It's close, but it looks like one red to me as well. Brian Weep having a closer look. I think he's agreed. So it is a steal of one, a big steal of one for Team Dropkin. He leads 3-2 halfway through the game.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability.
For 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies.
Off that steal of one when Mooibroek's draw came up a little beat. Mooibroek playing a corner guard, and they just barely get that past the hog line. If you're just joining us, my name is Jason Cheng. Jim Nix joining me on the call. We're bringing you the action from the ice to your device. Martensville, Curling Stadium International.
Yeah, a couple of big misses in that end for Mooibroek, really. The missed double by Weeb and then obviously Sam's last draw going a little long. That's two pretty easy shots you can't really afford to miss. They missed two of them, and as a result, yeah.
This rock is going to crash on the guard here. Mooibroek trying to make use of their corner guard now, trying to get around it. Or just trying to throw up a second guard because that first one was so high. That looks like what they're doing here. Good sweep there, gets this around to the top of the 8.
Yeah, really good sweep.
Nice double.
So it leaves Dropkin in pretty good position, though.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It's the Yellowstone, stays right there. Little chance for Team Mooibroek to get a bit of a roll behind that red guard, although red guard's pretty tight, so the run back will be pretty simple here if this shot's made.
Whoa.
So tight to the guard, they overrolled it a bit. Let's make contact. It does. But will it get the Yellowstone out of the rings? Korey's working hard on it, and it does just slip out.
So a chance for Mooibroek here, though. He's got a couple corners. Pretty good situation for him. I don't know about this. I think you.
That's a nice hit from the wide side. And did they get it far enough? Not quite, though.
No.
Team Dropkin skills got shot stone, so I think you can probably ignore that Yellowstone and split the rings. Also go around that corner guard and choke it off.
Yeah, the problem right now for Korey is that he's, you don't really love chasing around corner guards in this situation without hammer, but doesn't really have much choice.
Jim, what have they decided here? Going around the corner on the other side of the rings?
Yeah, I think I'm playing this same shot here. It's I'm going to go around. I don't know if I'm going to try to really bury this, but it looks heavy though.
Yeah, they backed off of it. It only needs to be 8 foot or mostly into the 12 foot. Just has to count the other Yellowstone, and it looks like it will. I think you're going to play a freeze now if you're Sam Mooibroek. If you're going to generate 2. You're getting forced right now, so might as well go.
Yeah. Yeah, that one just came a little tiny bit deep for Mooibroek's team. Kind of an odd end. You don't very often see an end where the team without hammers went around each corner guard and buried. Pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. You think you can make the hit here and spill that yellow one far enough that you're still sitting 1-2 after this?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why it doesn't really look like it can to me. I don't think he can get around that tight enough to bounce it out.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Jim.
He's looking at running it.
You have to be a little bit careful here. If you ever overcurled and picked out your own redstone, Team Mooibroek could potentially play a wide out-turn soft tap on that other redstone to sit 3.
Yeah, and they've just seen that really, more or less seen it on a few shots ago. Yeah, going to be important to stay on this.
They hold the line here. They can't overcurl, and they just make it perfectly. 1, 2, 3. Team Dropkin. That's what they're sitting.
Yeah, that's a nice shot.
Yeah, I think Team Mooibroek really has to play this freeze again. The only other shot is to draw around the corner on the other side. If you sit full 8 foot, you'll be shot stone.
Yeah, it's not a bad thought because you could come around on the intern side and probably be shot a rock and be fully buried. Whereas here you're not. I don't know.
But they did just play this shot, so
They did,
that
yeah.
might be why they gone back to it.
Yeah, quite possibly.
They need this rock to curl to get on the corner. They are moving it. Will it get onto the corner enough? It just chips off. I think Team Dropkin didn't see that fully.
Yeah, a little tiny bit overswept, really.
Tyler Tardy, his final stone of the end here, trying to make a nose hit and set 4 and put the pressure on Team Mooibroek. Good shot. They will sit 4. So it's going to be a draw to the button here for Team Mooibroek.
That was a good shot. Good force for Team Dropkin.
And 1 end to go. Team Mooibroek had a draw against 2 and slipped a little bit too far. That's what gave Team Dropkin the steal of 1 and a 1-point lead after 4 ends of play. We are in the 5th end here. And a very important draw for Sam Mooibroek. Final stone in the 5th end. Down by 1, trying to tie the game here. Needs full 8-foot here. It
Looks pretty good.
Happy here. The sweepers on and off. And they're dusting it in right on the pin. And it is a single point for Team Mooibroek. They level the score after 5. It's 3-3.
The people have spoken, the votes are in, and the players are ready to rock. At curling's first ever TCG All-Star Game, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th. Let's rock.
Well, really tight game here. It's a 3-3 tie after 5 ends. Team Dropkin, they've got the hammer in the 6th, so definitely an advantage now for Team Dropkin. Hammers in the evens in a tie game.
Yeah, definitely a big advantage. We were talking about this earlier today. I'm pretty sure that the analytics show that if you can score in the 6th inning, you're going to win most of those games. So as long as you're around tied up when you get there.
And we were talking about the Women's World Championships starting very, very soon. In about half an hour, I believe, is the first draw. But Men's World Championships being held in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. And they've got a pretty good field there as well. Of course, Team Canada from the Glencoe Club, Brad Jacobs, just coming off that prior victory. That very exciting win over Guju in the semis, and then Dunstone in that final. And they've selected Tyler Tardy to be their alternate, so that'll be an interesting combination there. And some of the other teams
that's interesting, yeah.
Yeah, some of the other teams I'm looking out for in that World Championships on the men's side, and potentially the teams who are going to make it to the Olympic Games. Of course, Joel Retornaz, they're going to be in it because they're the host from Italy. They've really broke out last season or a couple seasons ago, becoming one of the top teams in the world. Scotland, of course, Bruce Mowat. South Korea, they're represented by Lee Jae-bom. They're at this tournament here in Martensville. Nick Edin, of course, from Sweden. One of the best in the world. Some people say he is the best ever. Yannick Schwaller, skipping that Switzerland team with Benoit Schwartz. At 4 stones, of course, Korey Dropkin, our feature sheet. They're going to be at the Worlds as well. It's pretty exciting for Austria to be at this World Championships, skipped by Matthias Janner. And Czech Republic making a return appearance at the Worlds, skipped by Lukáš Klima. Well, Jim, there's the Battle of the Sexes coming up. Kind of a made-for-TV event. Team Homan against Team Mowat. What do you think about that skins matchup?
Yeah, I don't know what I was just saying. I don't really know exactly what they're playing. I don't know if they're playing a straight skins format or if it's kind of gimmicked up a little bit. And if it's if it's gimmicked up a little bit, then I think that Holman could win that game. In a regular straight up curling game, I'm still going to pick Mowat to win that game over Holman, although I don't think it would certainly be anything to walk away with. It'll be a tight affair, but I think Mowat's just really, really tough playing anybody. So, but it would be interesting.
Yeah, Team Mowat. I don't know if it's controversy or not, but certainly a lot of talk in the curling world where the Scottish curling, they get to select the team that goes to the World Championships, and Bruce Mowat did lose the Scottish Nationals, I think for a second year in a row to
Ross
White. And Ross did win a slam this year as well to kind of break out his season, but Mowat has a great season as well. They won a couple slams this season, so I don't know if you can fault Scottish curling for making that pick. Of course, Team Mowat has a lot more experience as well in the international scene. And of course, you're trying to collect those World Championship points to make sure you qualify for the Olympic Games.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. It's certainly a different concept than what we do here. We declare it, the winner goes, the winner of the battle goes. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know which way's better. I get what they're doing, and they're saying that Mowat's had the better overall year and definitely ranked number 1 in the world, and certainly has had a terrific season. But it's tough when you win that twice in a row, as Ross has done. You don't get to go to the Worlds or Olympics or whatever the heck it's going on that year. I think that's going to be a little hard in the head.
I agree with you to some extent, Jim, but at the same time, all those teams know that the Scottish Championships aren't the determining factor. And so for Bruce Mowat, maybe he's just making sure he peaks for the right events, and that's the slams.
Yeah.
If the Scottish Championships were the most important tournament, like the Brier is in Canada, you'd have to try to make sure you peak for those. So because they know the format, that could be why, and maybe it's not as controversial as people think, right?
Yeah.
And there are different qualification systems in Canada. Of course, we've got the Brier, it's the national championships, and many countries use that. But a lot of countries also use just pure selection or the best team on the World Curling Tour rankings.
Yeah.
Want to avoid the jam here. Well, Team Dropkin with the hammer, and they've got 3 rocks in the rings, and they're going to probably soon get a 4th rock in the rings here. Team Mooibroek's got to be very careful.
Yeah, with hammer too. So he's after this, you'll only have 3 rocks apiece left. So.
Roll a little bit too far, but they get it cleanly past. So it is 1, 2, 4, and 5 for Team Dropkin right now.
Yeah.
Ryan Weeb. He's been a long time skip. He's still very young, but a long time skip out of Manitoba. Joining forces with Team Mooibroek here.
It's on the guard.
Yeah, this is not close. Well, they've managed to spin this in for 3rd shot, so that is something.
It is, yeah.
Count that red stone. That's now 5th shot, so makes it a little bit less scary, but it is still Dropkin sitting shot stone and 2nd shot stone.
Yeah, just underthrown a little bit, I think, that shot, because that would have only been back 4 foot for weight, probably, somewhere around there.
We're getting down near the end of this end. Tom Howell, that's the final 3rd stone that he's going to play soon.
It's a tough call.
Yeah, a lot of options here. You're trying not to leave any doubles as well. Maybe you're still wondering whether you can make that 5th shot red stone count.
Yeah.
Or maybe even that biter at the back count. If you want those to count, you probably need to make some sort of a takeout.
You'd like Mooibroek not to be able to get something behind that guard, even though it's relatively short and keep you run back. Regardless, you'd like to have something easier than that.
Yeah, that guard might be Mooibroek's saving grace here in this end. Well, the other team I'm really interested in for these World Championships is the team from Germany, skipped by Mark Miskadovitz. They had a fantastic European Championships this year.
Yeah. I don't even know how to say the last name. I think I know what you mean, but I don't think I can say the last name. But
yeah, Miskadovitz, the skip. Their 3rd is Eddie Kapp, who is the son of the legendary Andy Kapp from Germany.
Yeah. They came over and played in the slam, and I think they did pretty well.
Yeah, and that team's still pretty young, so all right, they've elected to play this red onto yellow here.
Yeah.
We're trying to set 1, 2, 3, and 5 here. Looks pretty close. Will it overcurl? They were carving it. Looks okay. 1, 2, 3, and 5. That's what they sit right now. 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6.
Double and roll behind the guards there. Just a roll off that one on the tee line is there, but pretty simple shot for Dropkin.
Yeah, there's a double there. You can also make a double on the back 2 red stones and roll it.
Yeah.
The only danger with this one is you could, in theory, double jam this.
Yeah, what, by hitting the high one?
By hitting the high one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you could. You could end up getting rid of you're gonna get rid of something, but could just get rid of one that number 5 or whatever it is as far as shots go. That wouldn't help much. Unless you're a shooter roll behind that guard.
Yep. Sam Mooibroek discussing over with his teammates here. That's Scott Mitchell, their second. Scott Mitchell is the son of Colin Mitchell, Olympic silver medalist with Team Mike Harris.
Okay. Yeah.
Speaking of Mike Harris, I know he was playing in the Ontario Seniors.
Okay.
So still active.
Yeah, I didn't know if he played any more in anything really. So
not a lot, but he sometimes does enter the seniors, so he was in the field there. But Colin Mitchell is basically retired. And I know Rich Hart, he still plays, but just in league with his wife, and their elite George Carey's. He's moved out to Newfoundland and Labrador, or well, to St. John's, I believe. And I'm not sure how much curling George is playing anymore, but still very involved in the curling community. Rolled a bit too far.
Yeah, just a missed sweep call. Yeah.
Yeah, over curled, right? So
yeah.
Yellow is first and fourth, but Team Dropkin can set 3 again with just this hit. Try to get a little flop behind the. Even if you just leave it open, that should be okay. You want a little flop, I think. You want to prevent the hit and roll from Team Mooibroek.
Yeah, a little flop's good. If you want a big end, you can roll a little bit to the right and see if he has the nerve to go around that. And if he does, it might not be a good idea. Mooibroek definitely in some trouble here.
Oh, absolutely. Working hard on this. They're by the guard, trying to get a little flop here. Pretty good.
That's a very nice shot.
Yes, we're just talking about the Ontario Seniors Provincial Championships, since that's actually in progress right now. It started a few days ago and it'll end this weekend.
Okay. It's going to be a game shot here.
Yeah, this is a big shot. And I was just looking at the standings for the senior men's in Ontario. And Mike Harris, they're 5-1 after 6 games. There's 8 teams, so there's one more round robin.
Okay.
Tied for the lead at 5-1. Looking shot here. Can they roll it over to the side into the pocket? Oh, great shot. Sam Mooibroek.
Really, really good.
It absolutely neutralized the situation. I don't know if there's any way to squeeze that yellow out. Maybe with the yellow run. I don't even think you can get that. The angle doesn't look good there.
Yeah. So this guy down here, it's perfect weight, really well called. It's hard not to get excited on that and sweep it too hard, but that worked out really, really well. I don't know if that run works, Jason. It just looks to me like it would be just everything's going to jam and you're still going to give up one. Looks like he's drawn.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think that's going out. So that was a game saver for Sam Mooibroek.
Absolutely. That's what impressed me. He has the ability to do that. So
yeah, what a tight game we have here. 3-3 tie. And after that great shot from Mooibroek, forcing Korey Dropkin to draw for 1. After Team Dropkin played a really good end to set up a big score. Sweepers have dropped back, just cleaning it onto the button, and nice shot from Korey. So they'll take a 4-3 lead.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind from pre-seed to post-harvest.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole
Welcome back to Curling Stadium, Martensville International, 7th end underway. Team Dropkin with the lead, 4-3, but Team Mooibroek, they've got last stone advantage. And Jim, for Team Mooibroek, down by 1 in the 7th, you'd either like a blank and come home with the hammer and try to take 2, or score a multiple here.
Yeah, I always feel like this is sort of, you've got to start off with the idea that you're trying to play to get deuce for sure, leaving a lot of rocks around, and if it doesn't work out somewhere around the middle of the end, you have to think about whether or not you can get the blank. And usually it's difficult to make that change. These teams have the ability sometimes to do it with the big weight that they can throw, but you pretty much have to go after this, I think.
Yeah, and for the team without last rock, that's Team Dropkin in this case. they'd like to get a force here, and then they'll be tied coming home with the last known advantage. So
Exactly.
that's how it's setting up here.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the Ontario Seniors and Mike Harris playing in that, trying to make it to a Canadian Seniors. But Jim, more curling royalty from Nova Scotia. Of course, Paul Fleming won the 2024 World Senior Championships.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I was at that actually when he won the Canadian. Or not at that. I was at the Canadians when he won that. I was coaching the senior ladies team from Nova Scotia. But yeah, played very well. Paul's been such a good player for so long. Has knee issues, but managed just to fight his way through those with a little bit of help from cortisone or something. But he's just a great player and a really good guy, and everybody very well liked. And so it's really nice to see. And
yeah,
the interesting thing
about the seniors is the winner of. So you go the next season. So Paul won the 2023 Canadian Seniors, and you then go to the 2024 Worlds. And this year's World Seniors, I believe, is in Fredericton, New Brunswick, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
About May, I believe, end of April or the beginning of May.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that, but they usually have the World Seniors and the mixed doubles at the same time.
At the same time, that's right.
Yeah.
They are talking about splitting the mixed double World Championships and the Senior World Championships into two separate events. The Seniors event has obviously grown a lot. More nations entering the Senior Championships. Of course, some of the newer nations, it took them some time to get senior curlers, right? But the numbers are getting higher and higher every year. And the World Mixed Doubles, it is fixed at 20 teams, but with basically three events happening, World Senior Men's, World Senior Women's, and the Mixed Doubles, it's hard to fit that all into one location.
Yeah.
Losing the line here, this probably will roll out.
I think the problem with some of those is that, for somebody to take it on to host it, I know we looked at it a few years ago and trying to figure out where you can make money because there's no TV for those events and to be able to get enough people in the doors to make it worthwhile to doing is a challenge for sure.
Yeah, absolutely agree. You also need 2 ice pads. Under the current system, you actually need 2 ice pads. I think the seniors will play in one ice pad, and then the mixed doubles players on a second. So you need a venue that can accommodate that, or at least close enough to each other that you can accommodate that. But I find the World Seniors quite interesting these days because you've got some of the top curlers from the 90s now in their senior careers, and so it's almost like watching a World Championship from 20 or 30 years ago.
Yeah.
We've seen teams like, or skips like Annette Norberg play, and those Doherty Nordby. Good setup right now for Team Mooibroek.
Mooibroek's looking for a big roll here.
Try to get it behind the guards.
Yeah, he's trying to roll it way over, like behind the left-hand guard as we look at it.
I got a half roll, but this might leave the double.
Yeah, I think he does leave the double.
And
Not a gimme
Korey,
double, but
yeah, hard to
yeah.
get it all the way out. There's a lot of distance there, but even if you move it over, you'll be behind cover.
Yeah, for sure.
Just caught it too thin, rolls underneath. So Mooibroek asking for this to go back on the wide side, the separation. Good shot.
I wonder if he was going to take the port on here.
Yeah, it's either the run or the port.
Yeah.
Tom Howell from the Third Stones for Team Dropkin. Pretty good.
Yeah, very nice. Get it out. We will. Get it on the other turn.
I was just having a look. We were talking about the Senior World Championships, and the 2024 Canadian Senior Champions will go to the 2025 Worlds. That's happening in Fredericton. It was just talked about. And for Canada, that will be the team from Alberta for the women's, skipped by Atina Ford Johnson. And on the men, it's, I believe, Randy Bryden from Saskatchewan.
Okay. Don't know. Is he going to get it by? He did get it
Yeah, he
by.
did.
Ooh,
That was an
man.
awkward port to get through.
It was, and that was almost like it grabbed a little something there because it just made it by the red one and almost hit the other red one. And that's only in the space of about 18 inches. A good shot.
Yeah, so I imagine they'll try to go through the port again. And if Korey throws this right, I think he'd like to flop behind that center guard. Team Mooibroek sitting pretty nice right now. 2 stones, there's no double. This rock is curling. Can they get it by? This center guard, I don't think so. They're going to chip it. They're going to bump the redstone in. Looks like the redstone is there for maybe second shot.
All of a sudden, Mooibroek's in a good position to maybe get 3 here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're looking for a hidden stick here. You could roll it as well behind the guard. A chance to sit 3 here. Trying to hold the line. Gonna roll pretty far. I think with the soft weight, it's gonna sit down. Unfortunately, it's behind the T line, and that could give Team Dropkin an out. By just freezing to that back stone. I don't really think there's a ton of other options. I guess you could play the run and try to make the run double and give up 2, but I think the freeze is the easiest shot, quite honestly.
I think if he knew he'd make the run double, he'd play it for sure and just give up the 2. But problem is you might not make it, and then you give up 3.
Yeah, certainly in terms of the odds of making the shot, I think the freeze is easier. But I do agree with you. If the run double was maybe a little bit more lined up, it's a little bit awkward right now with the angles.
Yeah. You can play either draw. The outturn puts you probably in a little better spot. But I think it's more difficult.
Still thinking this over here. It is an important shot.
That's a big, big shot, yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm having a glance over at the other games. Bruce Corte leading Steve Laycock 8-4. And Dustin Kaltoff, that's already a final 7-2 winners over Jaibun Lee. I think they've settled on this freeze.
Yeah.
Well, Korey Dropkin, his last stone without last rock here in the 7th, then up by 1. Team Mooibroek sitting fairly nice right now. 3 stones, and the only way to defend against the situation is to lay down a good freeze. you make it perfect, you've got the force going on. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, nicely done.
Think that's good enough?
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but it's pretty darn good.
I think Mooibroek's having a look at this, at some sort of a run or some sort of a double here. He's thinking if I draw for one, I'm in a tie game. Without hammering the last team, Dropkin's probably a 4-1 favorite, maybe even higher.
I think if he feels there's any chance at all of making whatever shot, he'll play it rather than draw for one. But
yeah, I think this slash or this in-off is definitely there. I think he's going to play it as a...
playing as an in-off, I think.
An in-off. That's what it looks like. I think he's playing it as an in-off here. Pretty
Very
thin.
tough. Yeah.
But I guess you can stick it for 4 if you play the in-off.
Yeah.
Get about an inch of this rock. Final stone. Sam Mooibroek. Opportunity for a big end. Tough shot. It looks like it's over curled. Will they get a bit lucky here? They do. They push on that yellow stone, and I think they got there for shot stone, so it's a tie game after 7. Bit of a lucky result, but we're going to go to the 8th then. 4-4 tie, Jim.
Yeah, he's either very lucky or very unlucky. I'm not sure which he would feel here. It's just, I don't know if he'd rather be down 2 with or tied up without, but
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time. Supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community.
Well, Jim, this is the final sheet out there. We have another final. Bruce Korey defeating Steve Laycock, but it's a 4-4 tie. Going down to the wire. 8th then, Dropkin and Mooibroek. Center guard went up. Korey went around, top 4. Nice placement. Jim, do you have to play another center guard here, or do you freeze on top of that red stone?
yeah, no, I think you need another center guard. Probably you're gonna want 2 guards out there, probably for 5, 6, 7 shots.
I'm gonna try to get this to cut over a little bit. All right, touches the center line here.
Yeah,
you can't peel those or tick those. So
Would have been
Korey,
interesting to see if that rock had just stayed just off the center line, if anybody would have done anything with it. I find that it's almost like people forget that you can even move those if they're not touching the center line. So
yeah, with the setup as it is, you can't heal, you can't tick. So Mark Fenner being asked to throw another rock into the rings, just raise on top of their own.
yeah.
It was a bit wide. They try to get it to bounce off a little bit here. Now there's a bit of a pocket.
Yeah. Sometimes I think that second rock in is just a nuisance. Just it tends to be in the way more than it's worth having there sometimes.
Got Mitchell throwing the second stones, being asked to freeze this rock into the pocket. Pretty good shot.
Yeah, that's a very good shot.
Let's see if they can make the double peel on these guards. Drives it by.
Yeah, I was hoping to pick up one more of those on the way by there, but it didn't happen this time.
Yeah, Team Dropkin still sitting shot in second shot stone. What do you think, Jim? Do you throw up another guard here?
I think I do, yeah.
I think I do as well. I would expect Korey to try the peel again or the double peel again if you do play the guard.
Yeah. Looks like I think he's indicating he's coming in. I think, Jason, I'm pretty sure that's what he was.
That's the impression I got as well. But we'll see. Have he got the speed to get it there? Looks pretty close. And that's right on top. Really good shot.
Yeah. So I think it's still see dropping in at center one. Got to get the center guard and the one at the top of the 8-foot out. Probably gonna make Mooibroek shot rock, but got some time to deal with that.
Yeah, because the situation right now is you don't move any stones out of the way. You can make a quiet yellow onto red tap. You'll sit shot stone. It'll all be lined up, so it'll be hard to blast them out.
Yeah, exactly.
Jim, any thoughts here?
Well, I think I'm running the guard.
I think so too.
I'm going to try to run the guard and try to catch the high yellow on the way by. I recognize that I'm going to probably make him shot rock, but he's only going to be shot rock with half of the forefoot. I just think you have to do that.
I'm going to look at the chat on our YouTube Curling Stadium channel or the Curling Zone channel that's hosting all these games and talk about the World Championship format. We've now got, was it a 13-team World Championship, a 12-team or 12-game round robin, 6 teams qualifying for the knockout stage.
Yeah.
But there is some talk at the World Curling Federation, or the World Curling now, rebranded, World Curling level, about even expanding the World Championships to more teams, but then having 2 pools. So maybe 2 pools of 10. That's something that's been bantered about. Of course, there won't be any changes until at least a couple of years in. They won't change it during mid-cycle of the Olympics, so they might look at making an adjustment depending on feedback from World Curling member associations, as well as the Athletes Commission. One of the drivers of that change is you've got many more nations who are getting competitive in that top tier. We talked about some of the teams at the World Championships this year: Lithuania on the women's side, Turkey on the women's side, the Czech Republic, and Austria on the men's side. And so a lot of good countries are being left out of the World Championships now.
They call it a timeout. I don't know why there's so much serious studying here. I just don't, maybe I'm naive, but I don't really see whatever they're looking at. I don't see why it matters. It's just kind of like, to me, it's.
I kind of agree with you. I think you got to run this garden if you can. I think that's what they've concluded.
Yeah.
Yeah, during the tour events, it's not particularly common for teams to bring a coach. I know the younger teams, a little bit more common with the younger teams. And their coach is Mark Lazar.
Yeah. This is not going to do much. Assume that they were trying to run it back in, not just peel the guard, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether they were trying to force Mooibroek to make a play first and then maybe make a blast at it.
Yeah. That's quite possible.
And of course, Mooibroek does have to make the play because Red is shot, and I believe second shot as well right now.
Oops.
I think it's still a little bit too early to make a move.
1, 2, 3. This is the third first shot.
Yeah, I thought you just make the center guard, leave that yellow-yellow combination open. I think that's what they're saying.
Yeah, look, I think they're coming around this thing. Maybe not. No, I guess I'm just on a guard. Get a little fooled by what they're talking about and what we're seeing sometimes don't look exactly the same.
Yeah, I like this call for now. You know, Korey Dropkin's going to make the peel.
Oh yeah, I think it was way too early to think about doing anything else really.
Yeah, I don't think I'd make a play until Sam's first rock.
Yeah.
Just a straight peel here. Well, Sam was interested in making a play into the rings. Someone else on the team was saying definitely one more guard is what I assume, and I would agree with that assessment. One more guard is what I'd like.
Yeah, me too.
That's so hard. If I chip off, if I ever chip off the yellow and he just crotches the yellows, we're dead. Maybe the top one, but that's like an insanely difficult shot.
Insanely difficult. That would be hard. I don't know if there's any fear at all if you throw up this guard at some point that Dropkin decides not to take a run at it. Just tries to take a little more of the draw away or whatever, but
Yep.
I'm not sure if that's a concern or not. Not completely sure what that does for you there.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. The only other shot I might contemplate if you actually want to go into the rings is maybe freeze a third stone on top of your two yellows.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting right to frozen is pretty tough, and if you ever chip off of it, that's not good at all. You can be a little
No,
bit
I know.
short. That's what they're saying. The tolerance is maybe a foot shorter than that in
Yeah.
the top 8. Well, I'm going to be interested to see if Ryan can make this. He really was advocating for the guard, and now he's playing a shot that I'm not sure he's fully bought into. Looks a hair heavy. And it does chip off. And Korey now just makes the nose hit here. Maybe slightly on the high side.
You say high side, you're thinking on the he throws an out turn here, if throws an in turn.
If he's throwing the out turn, I would imagine he's throwing the out turn if he's trying to make the hit here. Not sure the freeze is great because if Mooibroek plays the yellow, yellow, red, Mooibroek would be sitting too.
Yeah.
And I don't think you'll have a easy double after that. So I think you want to move the rocks.
I don't know what Mooibroek's going to do with that 1-8 there, though, to be honest. I'm just trying to think of where he's going to go, and I don't know if he's going to tap that yellow or if he's going to play the yellow, yellow, red at some point.
The other option they're looking at is that thin double. Yellow in the full 8 foot, very thin.
Okay. Yeah.
And then onto that second shot stone right now.
Six five. Is that the time he's giving? If he is, that's a
6.5 seconds hog to hog. So that's a heater.
That is.
Yeah, I think that's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Kind of taking away that yellow, yellow, red tap, at least for the moment.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Dropkin. Or for Dropkin, for Mooibroek, rather.
So just trying to jiggle the rocks here.
Well, I'm not fully sure, Jason. I'm not sure. I can't imagine he's throwing the guard.
No, I can't imagine
the guard. Moving and wiggling them around a little bit. Just a little heavier. Right? So yeah, I think he must be saying, like you were saying, must be just trying to move it a little bit. A little better angle.
Yeah, try to rearrange the furniture here.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, not super bad right now. I mean, if Dropkin's not careful, Mooibroek can make a double on those two reds and have that front of the 4 foot all covered up. So what does Team Dropkin do to neutralize that possibility? Guess you could tap this red.
Yeah, he can move the red up a little bit.
Yeah, almost right on the nose.
Yeah.
You'll leave also your shooter in a pretty good spot if you ever needed it.
Yeah. Just create a little hole for that yellow one to go through, really. If he hits the top yellow real hard, makes a couple yellows, loses shot rock, but actually still may end up with shot rock on the other one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's very bad. I think it's not all bad. Okay, guys, you got to make this decision here.
Yeah. Interesting setup here. I mean, Korey is sitting shot stone. That's part of the reason why they don't really want the bat blast, because that could just make Mooibroek shot stone.
Yeah.
That's why I think if you were to blast, you should have done it slightly earlier in the end. You have more rocks to then change the situation if you happen to give up shot stone.
So if he comes down, just taps ever so slightly, and especially a little bit on the low side, then I don't know that. I'm not sure Mooibroek's got a whole lot.
As you can see, it is a 4-4 tie, and we're getting down to the last few stones here. Korey Dropkin with his first, with last stone. I think that's pretty good.
I was just going to say, I think that's probably pretty good. I don't know.
You can't make the yellow red and be shot stone.
No.
So you need to move both of those red stones off of the 4-foot. I don't really see a draw. You maybe can draw to get shot stone, but you'll be mostly open. Go on that intern side, get a little bit more of a nibble of that button than the red stone.
Yeah.
Is there a way to make this double on the red stones? That's shot and second shot. The angles don't
I'm
look
not
great.
seeing that. No, I don't think it. Like if you can hit everything you can see on the red, like if you can get to really tight to the yellow one, I don't know if even then it will make any contact with the red that's biting the button. So this would be Mooibroek's final shot, I would assume, eh? Coming up. Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah. I have no good advice here. None of the options look great.
Yeah. I don't know if you hit the yellow one, the high yellow one, hard, right just where Sam just has room for a second. If you can make enough contact with all three reds to get them out and give Dropkin basically a draw to the 4-foot.
Yeah.
No. I don't know if that works for sure, but that's the only thing I see as a possibility. Definitely would touch it. I just don't know if it would touch it hard enough.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I'm not sure it will move that rock enough.
Looks like he's trying to hit the one on the center line, maybe. And hoping to get it somehow into that crotch somewhere and get enough contact to move them all.
Yeah.
I don't think he's playing the high yellow, do you?
I don't think he's playing the high yellow.
A really tough shot.
It's 4-4 tie in the 8th end. Sam Mooibroek without last rock. This is his last stone. He's got to make himself shot stone, which is removing those two red stones from the 4-foot. Nope. Won't make that. Team Dropkin still sitting shot in second. Don't need to throw their last one, Jim. What a tight game.
Yeah, very interesting game. Very a lot of rocks in play, a lot of interesting situations. tough loss from Mooibroek, dropping to 0-2 here all of a sudden, and they'll have a
Team
little struggle
Dropkin
making
at
the playoffs.
2-0.
Yep.
Well, thanks for joining us for our coverage. 4 draws today. We're going to have 4 more. Preliminary round draws tomorrow, starting at 8 local time, 10 Eastern, then at noon and 2 Eastern, 4 and 6 Eastern, and then 8 local, 10 Eastern. Tiebreak game late at night if necessary. On behalf of Jim Nix, I'm Jason Chang. We've had a great time bringing you the action from the ice to your device here in Martensville. We'll see you tomorrow.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot.